we have a look at the 2017 Audi RS3 Sedan, which was just released at the 2016 Motor Show in Paris. This is going to be coming to the US, and currently in the US we don't get the hatchback RS model. They do in Europe, but we are going to get this 5-cylinder 400 horsepower RS4 in the States. Now, when you initially look at this car, if you glance over it quickly and you sat this side by side with just an S3 sedan, the common eye wouldn't catch much of a difference. However, the front end is definitely changed. There's more vents. It's a little more aggressive looking. It is a letdown that they didn't put more flares on the wheel wells. The wheels are definitely not a high point of this car. I don't know, they're just kind of bland looking. They look like they'd come on a regular A3. So I think they should have flared the wheel wells and put more aggressive looking wheels, but they did do a nice job with the front end of the car. They also did a really nice job with the rear end of the car and the classic RS style exhaust pipes, which we'll get into a little bit here. So we might as well kick this off by starting and talking about performance. Like I said earlier, it has 400 horsepower, so this is 33 horsepower more than its predecessor, and it makes it the most powerful 5-cylinder engine on the world market. It also has 354 foot-pounds of torque, and that's available between 1700 and 5850 RPMs, which gives you great acceleration, leaving you around 4 seconds for a 0 to 60 time. The top speed of this car, just out of the box, is 155 miles an hour, but on request, Audi will increase the electronically limited top speed to 174. Also, the sound of this 5-cylinder unit is going to be amazing. For some reason, 5-cylinder engines just have a great sound. Partially the reason for this is the ignition alternates between directly adjacent cylinders and widely spaced ones, and this sound can be modified on the Audi Drive Select. It also has a light alloy crankcase, and the 5-cylinder engine comes out to be 57 pounds lighter than its predecessor as well. So that's a really cool thing, to have the engine even be lighter and more powerful. It has dual direct injection into the intake manifold and into the combustion chambers as well, and they also have Audi valve lift system for variable control on the exhaust valves. So the result of all of that is optimal power at a reduced consumption level. So this also is a pretty efficient car. The next thing I want to talk about is the interior of this car, and this is really where it's going to separate itself from the S3 model. So as you can see here on the rear seat, in the door panels, just below the handle, there's an Alcantara fill in there. Also, they have this awesome stitching pattern, kind of like an Argyle checkered stitch, the black with the red stitching, and that is so soft and so comfortable. I was able to sit in, not this model, but other Audis that have this, and it's a really plush material. It's really comforting. And on the front seats here, they're aggressively bolstered, kind of just above your waist, but not up by your shoulders, and that makes it extremely comfortable, but then holds you in place when necessary. So it's not going to be a hassle to jump in and out of this car. You should be able to do that pretty easily without much stress. The shifter has a nice, again, Alcantara trim around it on the shift boot and on the shift knob itself. Unfortunately, this isn't in a manual transmission, so you're only going to touch that a few times in your life, which sucks. Also, what's really cool is this flat bottom steering wheel. Again, the steering wheel does have Alcantara trim on it, which is, that material is from the gods. And this is a true flat bottom. You could literally use the bottom of this steering wheel for a ruler. It is amazing how aggressive that is, and that's really leaning towards, really leans towards like what a DTM racer would look like. The edging around the air vents is also a nice little touch. The red stitching pops along the leather trim door handle. There's some carbon fiber trim as well. I think they did a really nice job with the interior. The navigation screens, I like what Mercedes and Audi is doing here, having them pop out of the dashboard, because it really frees up a lot of space there. Now, the final thing I'm going to cover here is my opinion on the outside of the car. You know, I agree, it's a beautiful looking car. The S3 is beautiful. The A series in general is a really good looking car, but this is an RS model, so it's limited production. It's extremely high powered. It's for optimum performance, you name it. And they didn't do quite enough to make it stand out like that. Like I said earlier in the video, they should have fender flares and they should make it more squat looking. Even if that means putting smaller wheels on it and wider tires, you know, going down to an 18-inch compared to these 19s you see here, I think they should have done that, because you can make it ride and handle more aggressively. If you look at the side profile of this car, I mean, it is literally the exact same. I don't know if you can maybe put some type of a better body kit on it. I do think the front of it looks great. I don't think the side looks great. The rear has an active diffuser, so that's really cool. Or I guess I should say a working diffuser. I don't think it's active. And the exhaust pipes look great, but then again, you move up toward the spoiler, and it's just kind of bland. I just wish they would have done a little bit more with it, and also not offering it in a manual transmission. I think that is a mistake as well. I know it would take a lot to throw a manual in there and probably would raise the cost of it a lot more, but people are willing to pay that. I mean, it just proves the 911R isn't the fastest 911 that you can get, but it is a pure driving experience, and people are willing to pay for that. This isn't quite in that range, but there's still a market out there for that, and I think that's something that manufacturers should start to consider. But overall, I'm just excited that this car is coming to the States finally. They're sending us more RS models, and you know, kind of attainable RS models. This isn't you know, going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It could be around, I'm thinking, 60 to start, but we will see here in the coming weeks. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave your comments below and subscribe for more videos like this and reviews on my car and other cars that I come in touch with. Thanks.